Hi guys, welcome to the kitchen, the Homestead kitchen. We're making supper. So I already got stuff started, but I'm just going to hang on just a sec before I start the main course here. See if any of you guys are going to join me. So this week's skill is about cooking from the pantry, cooking on budget, and cooking healthy meals. And I wanted to do a few of my plant-based or vegan meals with you guys, which of course you can add meat to, not a big deal. But I wanted to show you guys that if you're living in a remote location, off the grid, if you're on a budget, if you're trying to feed a large family and you're on a budget, if you're just trying to avoid going out because of COVID and you're trying to eat up the things you have or your pantry stocks, these are great, easy, healthy, cheap meals. And I really encourage you guys to once in a while make some of these pantry meals, and hopefully they're going to be delicious and versatile enough that you can make it the way you like it. So what we're going to be making is we're going to be making some red lentil and 3-color quinoa, already cooked, cakes or patties, I guess you want to call them. And the reason why I chose this meal is, in case you guys don't know, I'm actually certified as a nutrition coach. So I want you guys to make sure you're getting the most nutrition you possibly can and save a buck or two, of course. So these red lentils right here are really cheap, and they're full packed protein. Half a cup will give you about the same amount as you would get from a piece of chicken, small piece of chicken. So, you know, once in a while, using these kind of ingredients, you can make them taste really good too with your own spices and mixtures. And they're really cheap and they go a long way. Same with things like quinoa. This right here, and these in particular I wanted to show you because these are packed full of protein. And I know we worry a lot about protein, especially when we're living in remote, cold locations. So protein is really important, and quinoa, it's not the greatest. Everybody doesn't like it. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's fun to come up with ways that we can enjoy it. This is a complete protein right here. This is a full source. You'll get everything you need. If you have some of this once a day, you'll get your complete protein. You wouldn't need to eat anything else. Of course, you need a whole bunch of it to get your entire serving, but nonetheless, you're going to get everything you need. It's a complete protein. And again, this is like packed with iron, protein, healthy fats, and just really good, nutritious, and cheap. So that's where we're going to start. And I have on the stove already, which is fresh, not from the pantry, but I have some peppers and some onions cooking. And we're going to add some peppers, a little bit of pepper here to our patties. So now I've already cooked the red lentils. This is, I made about a half a cup, came to about a cup cooked. And I have a couple cups here. We're not going to use it all. We're going to try and use about a cup of this. So it's a cup of each in this recipe. And then I saved some red pepper. We're going to chop really small, just to give it a little bit of color and a little extra flavor. So my goal for these, you guys, is to make them like a taco spice flavor. Not too spicy, but give it a little flair. But of course, you can make them any flavor you want. They're really good if you just want like a garlic and onion, some little bit of basil in there. You don't have to make them spicy at all. Just flavorful, aromatic. And you can add in little chopped vegetables to help add flavor as well. So that's the fun about making patties, is you can actually put in all kinds of stuff into them. And, you know, half the time people are none the wiser what it is, as long as it tastes good. So that's our goal. I want to chop these really small. I want them to mix in nicely with everything. I want to get the flavor of the red pepper in there. And red pepper, green pepper, these are really great to dehydrate for flavor. If you guys like pork, it's really good to add in crushed up with some pork, some rosemary and parsley, a little bit of green dried pepper in there. Yeah. So it's a good idea, but we're putting it in here with our patties. Now I'm not going to put any onion here because I actually put in some minced onion earlier, which really soaked up in these lentils. They're quite wet. But that's okay because we have breadcrumbs and panko we're going to put in here. Let's rinse off real quick here. All right. Now you guys can put eggs in these. I would put probably 2 small ones or 1 extra large. Since I don't eat eggs or use eggs, I'm going to make my little creation here. But again, feel free to use eggs, especially if you have your own chickens and you're raising eggs. So for this is ground flaxseed for those of you who are curious. And this is my egg. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of water. I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. You can do the same thing with chia seeds if anybody's out there plant-based vegan. Otherwise, like I said, just use a couple eggs. 2 small should do just fine for this recipe. 1 extra large. So I'm just going to let that sit for a couple minutes. We're going to get in our quinoa. So like I said, if you're feeding a big family and you're on a budget, sneaking in these meals once in a while will save you $1. You're not going to miss out on your nutrition, and they can go a long way. I'm just going to check my peppers. Here, you guys can come with me. So now I cut these down to just maybe inch slices, and I'm sauteing them down really slowly here, so they're going to make almost like a pepper onion relish. So I browned them a little bit with olive oil, and then I added about a cup and probably about 2 cups of water so far, because I want them to really soften, and they're going to, like I said, be almost like a pepper onion relish. It's one of our favorite things to top on stuff around here. All right, so we got our quinoa. It's cooked, ready to go. Grab another spoon here. So this is about 2 cups. I'm going to use about half. Mix it in with our red lentils and our red pepper. We'll save that for another night. So I'm going to mix this up. I want to give it a good mix. Now this is going to be quite moist. Some of the recipes actually call more. They want you to add water. We're not going to do that. We're not going to add any water, broth. Don't be afraid to use these ingredients. Like I said, they don't cost much, so if you even want to just experiment with them, that's okay. So just mix it up real good. So, and we're going to use a lot of breadcrumbs for this. If you don't make your own breadcrumbs, that's okay, but I recommend that you do. I have both. Because this is a really moist mixture, I wanted to get in some nice thick breadcrumbs, so I picked up some panko. But I'm also going to use some of my own mixture right here. We save all of our own bread ends, whether we buy it or make it, because we make a lot of stuffing with it. We don't need stuffing just on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Stuffing's a fun, delicious thing to add to a meal, and we like it. So we're actually going to start with this. And this I'll just show you. Look, it's already thickened up. So I'm just going to take a scoop. I have kind of half and half here. Yeah, they're really cheap. You give them a try. These ones are really, really teeny, so they cook up really fast. You add about double the water, so if you put in a half a cup, you know, you add about a cup of water, a little bit more even. You can always add it as you go. Some people like them a little crunchy. Some people like them really soft. I make them soft. The bigger ones, they have more of a shell, but they're really good and healthy, full of iron, full of protein, really healthy, and they don't really taste like much. So you can make them kind of taste like what you want. And to be honest with you, when I went plant-based, I didn't eat lentils for a long time because I was afraid they were like really gross. But if I could eat beans, I can eat lentils, and lentils are much better than beans. And if you actually like the flavor, they're actually not, some of them are not a bad flavor. So we're going to mix that up. I'm going to mix in my little egg mixture here. So like I said, this is equal to about 2 small eggs or 1 extra large. And this is my binder. This is what's going to hold it together for me like your egg would. So I'm just going to mix that up. And it's really simple. All I have to do now is I want to add in my spices, and then I'll add in the panko and see if I need any more regular breadcrumbs. Super easy, guys. I'm going to check my peppers. They're doing good. They're doing good. They need a little water soon. So like I said, I want to make this like a taco flavor, but I don't want it too spicy. So I don't need turmeric. Well, I'm going to grab a turmeric. Let Maybe cumin, paprika, chili, maybe a little bit of cayenne. I like to put some basil and pepper, which I have over here already. So, now I already know the flavor, the amounts that I need for the flavor that I like and my family likes. But you guys can play around with this. You can make your own mixtures if you're not sure. You know, test a little bit at a time, mix it all up, taste it. If it's not good, add some more. So, I added about a teaspoon of chili powder. And again, I'm going to taste it just in case I didn't add the right amount. And this is smoked paprika. Regular paprika will work as well. And I want to make sure I have a full teaspoon of this stuff. Measure it right in my hand. This is why I don't have any recipes, you guys. Because I just wing it half the time. I know what I'm doing, but that's why I wrote down. I don't know if Pamela is watching out there, but I wrote down my cake recipe just for her. And a couple of you who asked me for recipes. So this is cumin. I'm using about a half a teaspoon. This is very, it's got a really nice flavor to it, but it's powerful. If you use a lot, you're going to taste it. I'm a wussy, but we are going to use just a pinch. I said wussy with the W there, guys. Just a pinch. Cayenne pepper. Alright, I also want regular pepper in there. Mix that up real good. Already got a nice color to it. I don't know if you can see. It smells good. That's a good sign. If you could smell it, it's going to taste good. If you can't smell your spices, you definitely need to add a little bit more. So, and yeah, we're just going to mush in. So, I'm just going to need some salt. A little bit of salt. So this is just sea salt. Any salt will do. Mix that up. So, and what I think I'm going to do, actually, believe it or not, I think I'm going to put a little teeny tiny squirt of ketchup in here. I have some close by. Just had to disappear for 2 seconds. But I'm back. There, just maybe a half a teaspoon. Just to give it a little tomato flavor. I really don't want to open a whole can of paste for that. But if you have paste in the fridge already open, which I don't at the moment, a scoop of that in here would be great. With any really flavor that you choose. So that's really nice. Now I'm going to add in some panko. I think that's enough flavor. Let's taste it. Now, see, I have no egg in here, so I can taste it. If you guys already put the egg in there, be leery about tasting it. I didn't put the basil in there, did I? If I did, we're getting more. I don't think I did. Alright. There, that's going to taste pretty good. Smell it already. So I'm dumping about a half a cup. I put in about a half a cup of the homemade stuff as well. Like I said, this is pretty moist. So I want it to soak up some of that moisture so they stick together nicely. So now going with this, besides the peppers, and I have some salsa that I'm going to top on top. Leave that for just a second. So I have some homemade salsa. We're going to put this on top when we serve. But we're also going to make some potato salad. Now I want to make potato salad with this meal because it's really good for one, but also because I wanted you guys to see how versatile hummus can be. So I do have vegan mayonnaise in the fridge, but that is not healthy and that doesn't come from your pantry. And in case you didn't know, you can make hummus for like $2 or less. It's a can of chickpeas with a whole bunch of spices. This one's got roasted pepper and a few spices and herbs. You can use oil, which is a normal main ingredient in it, but if you're cutting out the oil, a little bit of water in there won't hurt. You just want to thin it down. So get your processors out, make yourself some hummus with chickpeas, make it the flavor that you like. Roasted garlic is good, roasted pepper is good, caramelized onion in there is really good. Just spicing it up with whatever you generally like in your meals. Really cheap, really easy, and it's, you know, you can cook with it, you can spread it on toast, you can dip stuff in it. We use this and eat this for all kinds of things, and we're going to put it in our potato salad and it's going to give it that nice creamy flavor, and it's actually not even going to taste like hummus. I discovered this when I thinned it out a little bit and made potato salad with it before. It didn't even taste like hummus. It almost tasted more like a mayo. So bonus for that. If you don't even like the taste, it kind of changes when you add it to other things. So cheap ingredients, super healthy, full of protein again. So this meal tonight is jam-packed with healthy proteins, iron, and all kinds of other... Oh, lost my connection. Sorry. It's really, really bad weather here. So even my data hopefully won't cut out again, but the wind is insane. So like I was saying, hummus, cheap, versatile, can of chickpeas, or cook your own. It's even cheaper if you buy them, but it's more of a process. And we're going to make potato salad with this. So I'm going to check my peppers. You can hear they're burning away. Alright, so a little water, guys, in case you guys didn't know, you can saute with water. Alright, so I think these are sticky enough. Let's see. Yeah, you want to make sure that they're going to stick together. Otherwise, they're just going to fall apart. Tastes pretty good. So now I don't have to wash my hands a million times. I actually have some gloves in a tray somewhere. Now these can be baked, these can be fried. We're going to actually do both. I find if you fry them a little bit with oil, which isn't that healthy, but if you fry them a little bit with oil, you're going to get a nice crispier edge on them, whereas when you put them in the oven, they're going to dry out a little bit more. So it's your preference. I also feel like the crispier ones last a little bit longer when you're taking them in and out of the fridge. So that's just my little tip of things that I do personally. I really want to get them squished in here. Like, you really want to squish it. Just like you would if you were making a meat patty. And again, you can make these into like little balls, into cakes, into big patties, into burgers. You can have them as a side in a salad. Like if you make them little, you can put them in a salad on wraps. Really good for that kind of thing. And again, you can make this, you can mix all kinds of stuff. You can leave out the quinoa and put some rice. You can make potato patties. You can switch up the ingredients and the flavors. As long as you have a binder, which I think that's pretty good, then you're generally going to be able to make a patty or cake. So we're going to try and make these a little bit small. That way we can drizzle some salsa on there. And you want to pack them really good, just like you were making a hamburger. Because they are little teeny bits, and in fact it almost looks like a little hamburger. And it smells good, and it tasted good, so it's going to have a nice flavor. And then we're going to top it with warm peppers and the cold salsa. And I think I even have some, maybe some vegan cheese or something, which isn't from the pantry. That's okay. So there we go. We got these patties, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to bake some and I'm going to fry some. So, and how easy was that? And if I calculated the dollars to make, I'm probably going to be able to make at least 8 to 10 of them. I don't know, probably less than $1.50. That's not bad. That's not bad. So I used the 3 colored quinoa. You can use whichever quinoa you like. Brown rice would be really good for this recipe as well. So these are going to be delicious. And of course, we're not going to stay on here the whole time while they're cooking, because that could be boring. But what I will do is, after everything is cooked and plated, I will take some lovely photos for you all and show you. And I may even take some video of me enjoying it while you are not. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so these are smelling really good. I can smell those peppers in there. I'm glad I chopped them up really thin. How's it going, you guys? What are you making for supper over there? Are you making these patties? I'll come over there and check, see what's in your lunches tomorrow. I'm just kidding. Alright. So what do I got here? I got 7 so far. 2 or 3 more. So I'm cooking on the wood stove, in case you guys didn't notice. I have to put some wood in there shortly. I would never do that. But I do hope maybe you'll try one of these one night. You can make them into meatballs, smother them in some barbecue sauce. All kinds of delicious ways to make these patties. And like I said, they're super cheap if you watch in the beginning. Like pennies for these ingredients. Really healthy ingredients. So what do we got here? We got 10. We got 10. Alright. So we'll clean this up later. We got 10 of them. So I'll fry half and I'll bake half. And I'll show you guys those after. Let's make this potato salad real quick before I go. Maybe. We'll see. Alright. So I got my hummus. My very unusual ingredient. But believe it or not, I have found so many uses for hummus. I like it on my toast. If you ever watch my stories, I eat it on my toast with sliced tomatoes and cucumber and a little bit of Italian herbs, salt, pepper. Delish. Delish. Alright, so I just cooked some potatoes. These are potatoes from our garden, in fact. And I let them cool. And I have some onion here, which we're going to chop up as small as we can. I'm going to try not to cry on camera. I promise you nothing. I pre-cut the onions earlier so I wouldn't be bawling my eyes out. Because I have a serious issue. It seems to be getting worse as I get older. I'm not too sure. Any older people out there, is the onion thing just keep getting worse or what? Does it ever get better? I don't know. My sinuses got better, but my onion irritation got worse. There. I think that should be small enough. Some of them are small. They're going in a potato salad. I don't want big chunks of onion. Red onion is great for this as well. I don't know what you like in your potato salad. We keep ours pretty simple. Onions, herbs, potatoes, and either mayonnaise or hummus. So, there we go. Drop that in there. Now we can get this out of the way. In case you didn't notice, I have my chocolate cake back there. Vegan chocolate cake I made. Delicious. I also have my milk out. My almond milk. You can use whatever milk you want. And again, you can use whatever mayonnaise or condiment you like. But I chose the hummus because I wanted to show you that you can have cheap ingredients that are super healthy. And that you can make right from the pantry. That's the kind of the point of this week. So, we got potatoes, like I said. These are from the garden. I might have a spoon somewhere. But I don't know where, so we'll get a fresh one. Alright, I'm just going to mix that up. I didn't do anything to these potatoes. I didn't even peel them because I'm actually going to kind of mash them as I mix. But we are going to add some salt, quite a bit. And some pepper, quite a bit. Here my peppers over there are smelling good. They're looking good. They're almost getting to that soft, like, relishy. I know, but I always forget. And then I'm like, I gotta cut them. I know. I need like an alarm, like an onion alarm. It says, hey, put them in the fridge before an hour before you cut them. Alright, so my onions and peppers are looking really good. So they're starting to caramelize. Can you see them? It's hard to do, isn't it? There. Anyway, they're starting to caramelize, get nice and soft. So they're going to make a really nice kind of topping relish to go with the salsa, the homemade salsa. Now, of course, you may not have peppers or onions, and if you have them in jars, that's great. That's something I would like to experiment with. But I, of course, had them fresh. You can use whatever vegetables you want on the side. I just thought they'd be nice on the side as well as a topping, so I went with that. But we're mainly focusing on the things from the pantry, which, as I said, are the patties and cakes, which are pennies to make, super healthy, full of protein, iron, all the good stuff that you would get from a little chunk of meat. So if you're saving, you know, trying to save a buck, trying to feed a lot of family, trying not to go outside, you're in a remote location, these are great meals. So, and hummus, super versatile, tasty. You can make it taste however you like. So I'm going to use probably about half of this. So we're going to mix it up. Now, the reason I have the milk is because I want to thin this out a bit, because the potatoes are starchy and they're going to absorb it. I think I'll ask for those for Christmas. Thanks for the suggestion. Alright, so I didn't put much in there, just a couple tablespoons. And again, if you're using regular mayo or something else, like, ignore this step. But I'm adding extra protein to my potatoes, which, by the way, guys, already have protein in them, as well as all kinds of really healthy vitamins. And I even made a post about it the other day, so I'm not going to tell you. You guys have to go find it and do some research. It's on my page. Alright, so already we're getting a nice creamy texture here. They smell good. And even though this is garlic hummus, I'm actually going to add more flavor, because that's the point of eating good food. You want it to taste amazing. And the food itself tastes amazing, but we make it taste better with other amazing ingredients grown in nature. So now I have my leftover ranch that we made last week for the popcorn for my gift. This is what I have left. So we're going to put some in. If you didn't see the recipe, make sure you let me know. I'll tag you in the post. So I'll probably put in about a tablespoon a bit. Tablespoon and a bit. We're going to mix that up. So now that I've let this sit for a minute, I can see the potatoes have soaked up a lot of that hummus. So we're going to add a little bit more hummus, a little bit more milk. And I can see it's covered in flavor already. Awesome. So I'm not going to add too much more. Just maybe one heaping spoonful. And we can save the rest for crackers. For crackers. Or bread or flatbread. Or whatever. In fact, how many of you guys out there know how to make homemade bread? I'm writing a self-sufficiency course, and I thought that was something that should be included in it, because I don't think everybody knows how to make a loaf of bread. You guys got any opinions on that? Should I include it in there? Do you young people know how to make a loaf of bread? That's the question. Alright, let's taste this, guys. Yeah. Where's my hands? Where's my hands? They're in my mouth. Practice safety even at home. Somewhat. Alright. Well, that's good. That's delicious. Ready to go. I'll let that sit. And put all this stuff back in the fridge. I'm going to get some of these in the oven and the rest in a frying pan. And then we'll be eating. They'll probably take about 20 minutes. So we'll be eating in about 25 minutes. So, that's it. That's all. That's our first recipe. This is a skill of the week. Creating healthy, cheap meals from the pantry, from the homestead. Like I have mentioned before, whether you're in a remote location, you know, trying to just avoid going out because of COVID, you know, you're on a budget. These are really good, healthy meals, and you can switch them up to make the flavors to what you like. So if you guys have any questions, if you need any inspiration for recipes for this particular item that we made tonight, please message me anytime. And I'm going to head off so I can watch my stuff on the stove so we don't burn anything. But like I said, I'll show you guys some pictures after, probably in an hour or so, when I get relaxed and have time to post. So have a good night, guys. And if you guys make any of these recipes, if you're inspired by the recipes that we do this week, post, share, show us. I would love to see you, or send it to me in private message. Awesome. Thanks for your time. Thanks for hanging out. And I'm going to come back Thursday, and we're going to make a stuffed squash, which is also a really great, cheap, healthy pantry meal. Hopefully you guys have your pantries and cold stores full full of squashes, potatoes, and onions and things. These are all things we should have. So hopefully you do. Thursday, that's what we're going to do. So around the same time, this is when I make my meal time, so that's when I'm going to come on. So between 5:15 for locals, and whatever time it is for you guys, I don't know. But we'll see you on Thursday. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us over on Facebook and Instagram to see what we're doing every day.